See, when we are on the path of the awakening or realizing the truth of ourselves, we relate this to removing the peels of an onion, layers upon layers, till there is nothing else which is acquired left to let go of. Because all these things that we've acquired and they become a kind of a repeating loop for us, those are those habit patterns that creep in slowly over a period of time, and these are our inability to deal with certain situations. So we start coping with them. We develop coping mechanisms. And these coping mechanisms are our way of hiding behind something. And it allows us to deal with it, but it never solves our problem. It actually creates a problem. And it becomes a repeating pattern or a repeating loop. So, our job is that when we do our manana or we sit in silence, we should be able to see these patterns, recognize them, and we should acknowledge that they are there. And then take a vow or a promise to your own self that I'm going to deal with it, because it's an unnecessary thing that is present in me and I don't need it any longer. You have to allow, you have to have this deep conversation with your own self to say, it has served me till now, but the path that I am on, I don't need it any longer. And then you release it. Because if you do not have this contract with yourself, with your own deep self, you will not release it. The deep self has to agree that yes, it is no longer necessary. It served me for the life I was leading, but now I don't need it. It's a false pretense. It is not serving my need, it's not serving my purpose, and now I want to let it go. Yeah, and then it goes as an energetic release. So anything that we feel is something that we do constantly, we need to see it. We see it because people are telling us. When people point it out to us, what do? We feel hurt. We contract inside, and in the defense, we hit back at them. Shoot the messenger. The person who gives you what is not a good thing in you, instead of kissing the feet of the person or kissing the hands of the person or saying, you've given me such a gift, what do? We attack the person. So we must see this as something that is no longer necessary. And when you do that deep seeing and that deep listening, you just laugh at it. And this laughing at your own self instead of laughing at others is what we need to develop. See, when we are on the path of the sadhana is this work that we do on our own selves with a lot of devotion, with a lot of feeling. It's all the effort that we make in realizing the truth of ourselves. That work that we do on ourselves is very essential. Otherwise, if we don't focus on it, then what will happen? It is creeping, it is there lying in the subconscious somewhere. And at the earliest opportunity, it comes back again, it rears its ugly head. Because what happens? Somebody comes and triggers us. So, and what do? We do not see at that time that the person is a trigger, but the underlying root cause is lying inside of us. And we think that it is such a deep thing in us that we need to protect. And we go into the reaction mode. And in reaction, what do? We fight. Whoever is coming front, we think it's good to just go and punch the other person. So we need to become aware. Everything is about awareness. This awareness has to come that it is still lying in me and somebody came and triggered it. And we should be able to, instead of getting angry at others, we should go quietly inside. Withdraw into your own silence and laugh at yourself instead of getting angry. That, oh, I've actually been working on removing this, but it is still there. Why did I still react? What is there to get angry about? What is there to defend about? When you know life is a game, this is not true. If you do not see life from a higher vision, from a higher standpoint, you will always be like these petty people who are always reacting on everything. That does not mean I am saying that you should not laugh and have fun. You should be able to see yourself and see life from a higher perspective. And that is when you truly start enjoying life. That is when you can participate in everything. As I was telling you yesterday, and I think I demonstrated to you yesterday, that how unwell my body was yesterday and day before. And the physical body and physical body's reactions were all present for you to see. But yet, at no point of time, the real self was unhappy, was not in joy. Right? And you people were getting more concerned about what is happening to me, right? Because of your concern and love for me. And I kept telling you, don't worry, it'll go. By tomorrow morning, I'll be okay. Because I know that all this comes as a part of the release. When the body needs to release something, anything, any emotion, any extra energy, any work that you do with consciousness is energetic. And that energy is held inside a container called the body. Body is just a mere container. And when that excess has to go out, it has to go out in the form of a release from the body. Because body is the container. And it has to go out of the body. So what is there to get concerned about the body? You're watching it, you're the energy, you're watching it, you know it's going to happen, and you know this is how it comes. It will come through as I keep saying, catching a cold is an amazing way of clearing all energy which is not required because it flows out. Right? Uh, Excess energy in the body will hit your various organs in the body and you need to ground. It takes its time. By grounding, you're coping with it. By taking some medicines, you're coping with it. But it takes its cycle. It takes so much time for the body to release it. But when you know it, and you know that you are not this body, you are that consciousness, you don't worry, you don't panic, you don't react, you deal with it. And there is no fighting. They're not saying, oh, why should I do this work? Because this is an energetic principle. And if we are going to be the harbingers of this change, our bodies need to be constantly upgraded. Newer and higher levels of energy will keep coming through our body. We just know how to deal with it. And we welcome it. We know something good is happening. By allowing your body to be the channel for bringing in this new age consciousness, you're doing a great service for the whole of consciousness. And that is true selflessness. That is true work that you are able to do. And where you say, yes, I am ready, I am present, and nothing, you don't flinch, you don't create any blocks for yourself, and you allow everything to flow through. And once you start approaching life from this higher level of awareness, from this higher level of consciousness, then you can truly laugh at life. Then truly life becomes a joke. Till that time, you need to be focused and really serious about this path and let go. Because when we start into this song and dance without having reached and removed all this, the remnants, it comes back very quickly because you see it's lying, as I said, waiting for it to spring back again. It's like the head of a snake. Unless it is crushed, it will keep coming back. It's going to rear it again and again. So we need to reflect upon these patterns of ours which keep coming back. And you can instantly deal with it. Actually, it's not difficult at all. Yeah? And this awareness, deep awareness, where deep listening takes place, where deep observation takes place, starts to happen. And we are just not merely just hearing things. There is something in us which takes over. And when somebody is telling us, we don't listen. Because there's so much of ours. So that one thing that helped me in my life, and I've shared this many times with all of you, and I share it once again, is to start with the premise that I don't know. If you approach people for help and you simply state, I don't know, then you empty yourselves from all false pretenses. So when somebody is telling us something, deep listening will come. But most of us are in the habit of, we want help, we ask for help, but we also want to say that I know something. And so therefore, the interaction becomes very crazy because we want help, but we don't want help. We still want to show how much we know. But if we say, I don't know, then you're back to zero. Because remember, this path is a path of nothingness. If you are nothing, then how do you need to know? And when you keep emptying yourself like that, of not wanting to carry this weight of knowingness, you come to the point of not knowing. And in that not knowing, when you reach, all knowingness comes. It's again a contradiction. It's again, you're saying two things at the same time, but that's how it is. Because after nothingness, that knowingness which comes does not belong to you. It belongs to consciousness. It comes from that pure seat of awareness. And it is the knowingness of the awareness of that consciousness. It doesn't belong to you. It just is made available to you. It is yours to use, but it is not yours. Like everything in this consciousness, creation is for us to enjoy. It does not belong to us. Whatever we try to make that it should belong to us is the cause of suffering and pain. We like a piece of land, we want to own it. We have a house, we own it. We like somebody, we want to get into a relationship with that person. We like a flower on the plant, we want to bring it home because we want to own it, right? We want to we go out in the market to a shop, we like something, we want to bring it and we want to own it. All this wanting to own and wanting to hold on to, then we start to hold on it because now it is mine, and then all the pain starts and all the energies get blocked. Because what is life? Life is a flow. What is this energy? It is all going. So if how much water can you hold when you stand in the Ganges and the Ganges is flowing? You can only put up your two hands and you take some water in your palms. Yeah, you can hold it for maybe 30 or 60 seconds before it will empty itself. You can't hold it. But you can fill a bottle and bring it back and say, "Oh, I have Ganges water with me," right? And we would, carry it all the way to United Kingdom and United States and all the other countries. Oh, I brought Ganges water. We want to hold on to it, not knowing that the same Ganges flows inside of us. And you're watching everything. You're watching this breeze. You're watching this greenery. You're watching the clouds. You're watching the sun. You're watching the monkeys. You're watching everything. Just watch them with deep sense of awareness and connection, the interconnectedness of all life forms, and let it come. And watch it and let it go. What you can enjoy from there, receive that nourishment of that enjoyment. But don't hold on to it. Don't try to own it. Don't try to possess it. It's our ability. This is how we train ourselves to watch and let go. Enjoy and let go. Without creating any bonds. Because in the flow there cannot be a bond. When we try to take this water out of the Ganges, bottle it and bring it back, we've created a bond. We've created an attachment. Now, I have Ganges water in my home. And we've blocked an energy and kept it somewhere. Like this, everything that we bring and we keep it, we block an energy somewhere. Because somewhere inside of us, we still have this habit of, yeah. So, this, if you understand this principle and you reflect upon it, there's so much of learning inside of it, and there's no need of any contraction. Anytime there is a contraction here, you got to laugh instead of feel contracted and wanting to share with everybody. Laugh at yourself. Right? Am I still sensitive? Am I still feeling all this? What have I done, to be not be able to? And also never repeat these things. In joking also, when we are in the lighter mode, we will tell each other, "Oh, this happened." Actually, what are we doing in the energy pattern? We are actually confirming it back. You don't throw it out. It's a wrong delusion. What you repeat comes back to you. It's people who just work with the mind, who do not have any idea of how this world is just an energetic field. Everything is energy. You know it. You guys do the work of energy every day. But you don't understand the principle of the energy. Why does it keep coming back? Whatever you will repeat, it's like a boomerang. Whatever you throw out, don't worry, darling, today or tomorrow it's going to come and hit you back because you threw it. So, but if you don't take it, and once you've seen it and if you've offered it to the water, why would you want to even talk about it while joking? It's like memory, it's bad habit, bringing it back. Something you've released, but in trying to make fun of it, you bring it back. And the teacher says, "Oh my God, when will they understand and learn that they just brought it back? It is there." And then this comparison starts. Because if you're still holding things, that means we have not released things. To say, oh, if you do this, this is the response you get from the teacher. If I do this, this is what I get. Again, I brought it back. That means I've never let it go. And when you're growing, this is all, as I said, I give myself this opportunity, I give myself this liberty that I allow myself to shift in my awareness at every moment. Who I was last night and who I am today are two different people because my awareness has shifted. Why would I, talk about that old self of mine? I don't allow. If you keep going back and if you keep remembering them, and you keep making fun of it, if you keep joking about it, you're not letting go of anything. I want you to contemplate on all this. And these are not, I'm not talking about this for the first time. You listen from here and you take it out. You listen from here and you take out from the other ear. You don't contemplate on what I tell you. And that deep change doesn't happen. The deep change comes from inside, of understanding what this consciousness is about and how my habits are getting, how my patterns are getting repeated. Why is it that we know small things that we talk about, keep the spoon like this, yet some still are not able to do it? Somebody is listening that this doesn't need to go in, but it still goes in. Those things are, what is this? It's a small thing. But you have to understand that there is something that is not allowing us to do that deep listening. That something we need to remove instead of saying, oh, we are being petty and picky. No, that's not the idea. That question, I hope, should come into you, but that will come only when you go back in your silence and contemplate. And not the two together, starting to, talk about other things and joke. This is serious learning happening, right? There's observation happening. I want you to go in these modes of your silence where you're actually taking it in and using your grounding and releasing mechanisms to let it go. But once you let go of something, please don't hold it back. Don't ever talk about it. It has to be cleared. That's why Trikuti is so important. That's why the fire is so important. And that's why the master keeps saying, never pick it up again. Once you have given, don't ever. And if the memory comes to you, say, hey, you're Maya, you're an illusion. You're trying to creep back. What I have given to the fire doesn't belong to me. What you've given to the master doesn't belong to you. If you've given your mind to the feet of the master, then it doesn't belong to you. Why will you pick it up? That deep conversation with your own self is so essential. That's when the change comes. And that is what we are looking for. The ability to recognize. When will that happen? When you go in your silence. And not sleep. Go and sit and reflect on your day. And this happened during the day with me. This is where I felt uncomfortable. What happened? Recognize it. Laugh at it. And release it. And then say, I've given it up. Right? And I tell myself that this will not get repeated. I see where it's coming from. And I let this go. This is not me. I am higher consciousness. This is the petty mind. Still looking for something. Still recognition, expectation, attachment. That's not me. And then we can help others, because first help yourself. This is what took me to these higher levels of consciousness. I told you, I was a trainer, I was a coach, I was a facilitator, I was a mentor. And I could make millions of rupees on that. But I chose not to. I said, I can't fix my own self. How can I, go and fix others and help others and do things for others? Do I have the right to even tell them that what I am going to tell them to do? Am I practicing it? Achha, no.